The bus glides forward, the wheels barely making a sound against the uneven path, as if treading lightly so as not to disturb the delicate veil between worlds. Outside, the bamboo groves thin into an open clearing where lanterns float in the air, like stars untethered from the sky. The glow is soft, warm, and inviting, casting long shadows that dance with every flicker. You notice a pale figure waiting by the edge of the clearing, a young woman in a flowing kimono, her hair pinned with delicate wooden combs shaped like blossoming cherry branches. Her face is serene, but there's a flicker of sorrow behind her eyes. She steps onto the bus without a sound, settling near the window, folding her hands in her lap as if preparing for a quiet prayer. The conductor gives her a respectful nod, but doesn't speak. Instead, he offers you a thin wooden box, its surface intricately carved with scenes of the moon and cranes in flight. You lift the lid carefully, revealing a collection of tiny paper cranes folded with painstaking precision. Each crane seems almost alive, as if poised to flutter away at any moment. These are tsuru, the conductor whispers, symbols of hope and peace. In Edo, it was believed folding 1,000 cranes could grant a wish or guide a spirit to rest. He pauses. Some say the cranes carry messages from the departed. You hold one in your fingers, marveling at the fragile beauty. The paper feels warm, surprisingly so, as though it's still carrying the essence of the hands that folded it long ago. Historians still argue whether this tradition was merely poetic, or if it served a deeper spiritual purpose in rituals surrounding death and remembrance. But on this bus, it feels undeniably real. The woman turns to you then, her voice barely above a whisper. I lost my brother in the fires that swept through Edo decades past. Every night since, I fold cranes to bring him peace. You glance at the window, where the lanterns drift closer, their light mingling with the moon's silver. Outside, a group of shadowy figures appears briefly, faces flickering like old portraits, before dissolving into the mist. The bus hums softly, the air thick with unspoken stories. You fold a crane yourself, feeling an unexpected calm seep into your bones, as if the act connects you to the river of souls flowing just beyond sight. The conductor clears his throat gently and points ahead. Our journey now brings us to the crossroads where the living and the departed meet, a place known as Yūrei no Michi, the ghost's path. A chill tingles down your spine, not from fear, but from the solemn weight of it all. You lean back, your gaze fixed on the fading lanterns as the bus pulls forward, deeper into the night's embrace. The bus slows as you approach a narrow bridge, its wooden planks worn smooth by countless footsteps, both living and otherwise. This is the Yūrei no Michi, the ghost's path, a place whispered about in Edo's darkest tales and celebrated in its quietest prayers. You can almost feel the space between each plank hum with the weight of untold stories. A thick mist curls around the bridge's edges, curling like smoke from a dying fire. Lanterns hang from twisted iron posts, their flickering light barely penetrating the fog's embrace. The conductor steps off first, his footsteps muffled as he moves with a strange reverence, as if crossing an invisible threshold. You follow, your own footsteps tentative, matching the slow, deliberate pace. Around you, the world seems to thin. The colors fade to muted grays and blues. The air cools to a crispness that nips at your cheeks. Somewhere deep in the fog, a faint, sorrowful melody floats. A shakuhachi flute, its mournful notes weaving through the night like a spectral thread. Near the bridge's center, the bus stops. The conductor gestures to a small wooden shrine tucked beside the path, its red lacquer chipped but glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. It's adorned with offerings, rice, sake, and tiny origami shapes, left by those seeking favor or forgiveness from the spirits believed to gather here. The conductor turns to you, his eyes reflecting the shrine's soft glow. In Edo, travelers believed that spirits who hadn't found rest would linger here, caught between worlds. Some were thought to be benevolent, others restless and vengeful. You glance toward the mist, imagining the silent faces watching from the shadows. How did the conductor collect lost souls? You ask, voice barely above the flute's haunting melody. He smiles faintly, a shadow crossing his expression, with patience, respect, and a promise, not to disturb their journey, but to guide them gently to peace. Historians still argue whether these ghostly crossings were rooted more in superstition or practical ritual, but the stories endure, etched into Edo's streets like ancient carvings. As you stand there, the mist thickens, and from its depths, a faint hand reaches toward the bus's door, a pale, delicate grasp that fades before your eyes fully catch it. The conductor bows deeply, whispering a prayer, and the bus's engine hums again, rolling forward to ferry you through the thin veil between now and forever. The shakuhachi's song lingers in your ears as the bus disappears into the fog, carrying both the living and the departed into the next chapter of this twilight journey.